Okay, Lady Ada, what is this?
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Show and Tell. Our favorite half an hour of the week is what we do every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. It's me, Lady Ada. With me, Mr. Lady Ada. With me is Mr. Lady Ada, and we're here in the Adafruit factory. We do all our design, testing, manufacturing, shipping of beautiful electronic components and parts and goodies. But we're going to kick back for the next half hour and see what the community has to share. This is your chance to come on by within your 3D printing, your electronics, your crafting, your cosplay, whatever you're building and making, even if it's not done. We'd love to see it. Talk about your progress. Maybe ask some questions and show and share what you're doing. We got some Adafruit folks and some people from the community that I'm excited to see what they're up to. Do you want to kick it off with Noe Pedro? What are you 3D printing this week?
Hey folks, yeah, so just two things I wanted to share with you guys. Actually, the background is a little bit tidier, so
nice.
I got these nice little shelves, and I 3D printed some hangers for our various props and things. So it's always nice to take some time to tidy up, as they do. What we have this week is a little 3D printed cube. This is a light-up cube. Inside the cube is the Feather Huzzah ESP8266. So it connects to Adafruit I/O. And we're using Zapier to track some timestamps so that this can help us keep track of our tasks. So if you're someone who needs to do timesheets and you kind of forget about them, instead of having to whip out an app and manually type in some entries, you just flip the cube and start a new timer. So right now I'm timing my coffee time, exactly. So you can change the colors. You can have a piezo, give you some nice little bleeps and boop sounds. It's also using the prop maker wing. So you can easily add new pixels and sound effects to your ESP8266. So that's what we have this week. There's a lot to it, so check out the Learn Guide, and shout out to Brent for helping us with the code.
Yeah, this was a sweet project, and people are really excited, especially people who do like freelance and contract work. It's really nice to have this. It's like, okay, I'm writing code, my little GitHub, or Adafruit, I'm writing guides, or coffee time, and then you've got 4 total sides that you can pick, and of course you can make it in an octagonal. If you're like I multitask, you can have 8 sides.
Exactly, you go like that or something.
This is a cool idea. I love the detail work you put in. is really nice.
Yeah.
All right, so check out the guide, everybody, and the video that goes with that. This was a cool collab between Noe Pedro and Brent, who does a bunch of Adafruit I/O guides. Just use Adafruit I/O as the back end, but people can probably hack it to use something else if they want. They got the code and Wi-Fi. All right, next up, Mike.
We'll be playing that video tonight on the show.
Of course. Mike B.
Hi, guys. I've got 2 things today. First of all, last week you showed off the Great Grand Central, and I've been really excited about this board. Well, that's the thing is Mr. Lady Ada's sound effect for the board was a train, which I love the theme, but the sound was kind of similar to this.
Yeah, it was a wood whistle.
Well, it was very soft too. So yeah. I mean, I was really thinking more.
You had a train
themed, like and kind of a real train kind of thing. So
real train.
So let's see. I'll kind of point down. So it's a really simple project. I wrote it up. I call it like a 10-minute project. You take the Matrix keyboard and you plug it directly into the I/O on. Let's see, there it is. Yeah, on Grand Central, and you could do it anywhere, and you can get like tons of keyboards, or if you really wanted to make a huge soundboard, you have 70 I/O pins. So I mean, this is just kind of a taster project, but it takes the analog out. There's 2 analog D to A's. So I just take 1 for now and hook that directly to the Adafruit amplified speaker set, which makes it really easy. And so you push one of the buttons. I put 8 sound effects on there, and so they're all train themed. So perhaps Phil would, actually have like real Grand Central sounds. So that's on the Adafruit Learning System. If anybody wants to, kind of kick the tires on their Grand Central, that's a great easy project to start with, and then you can expand that, or you can go do all kinds of things. I know JP has some really great stuff coming too. There's a lot of good Grand Central stuff. So,
and
number 2 is I picked this up this afternoon from a original owner. This is an IBM PC. The original started it all off, IBM PC at model 5150. It's been upgraded, kind of like I upgraded my original computer, but it has a hard drive. And you have to swap out the old hard drive to get kind of space for it. So there are these full height floppy drives that it originally came with 2 of these, well, 1 or 2 of these actually, and it has a cassette port in the back of it. So it was originally configured to do cassette if you really didn't have the money to buy these honkin' floppy drives. It has the original CGA monitor, which a lot of people, if they bought the computer, they reused a composite, like a black and white composite monitor to save some money. So not as many people bought CGA displays originally. And then as prices came down, they might have bought that, or they might have gone up to EGA, which came out, I think, with the AT and kind of backported it. So this has been upgraded some. I haven't popped the case open, but I know the memory's maxed out. I think it's got an expansion board in there for some more I/O. So I'm going to check that out. And these 10-pound keyboards. I mean, we did the big keyboard show and tell last week, but this has the original clicky keyboard, and it's very heavy. It doesn't have the model number sticker on the back, but it is the original, so that's kind of fun. I'd like to get an adapter. It comes with a very chunky DIN connector, and I think it's kind of rare to get the DIN connector to PS2. You can do the other way to use a PS2 keyboard on these old computers, but using that keyboard, say, on the PS2, like our computers, not quite as common. So that's the fun I'm having this week.
All right, sweet.
All right, good stuff, man.
Heavy.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do JP, then Bill, then.
Okay, JP.
Hey, yeah. So last week I released a guide on making your own DIY controllers to add to the Xbox adaptive controller. And so you can go check out that guide. A couple of things that people were really interested in were the use of this guy, which is our big hefty on-off button. So I was using this in my demo to actually just hold the gas pedal down on Rocket League. So it's kind of an interesting idea to not necessarily use momentary switches. And I've got one of our little adapters there for a TRS 3.5mm plug, so I can just plug in a standard
Nice
stereo cable. Yeah, and then on the other end, that just plugs into any of the buttons that you want to use it for. And then the other thing, this one I left sort of so that people could really see how it was put together. You might want to sheath that, but I've got an analog joystick. And so that's running, instead of one of the thumb pads, I'm using one of our nice analog joysticks here. And that's using a TRRS adapter there, which is what you'll find on your earbuds on your phone. So there's a few slots on the back there that accept analog, and so that's one way to do that. So please go check out the guide if you're interested in finding out more about adding inputs to that controller, which then opens up gaming to a lot of people who can't use the regular controller on both the Xbox One and on Windows 10. And then a little tease for my show tomorrow. Come and check out John Park's workshop tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where I'm also getting in on the Grand Central action. And one of the things I'm super thrilled about with the Grand Central is it's got 16 analog inputs. So I have built 16 analog input knobs onto a little Mega Proto Shield, and I've got that running as USB MIDI. We have USB MIDI running on CircuitPython, so I'll show you how to use the CC, which is continuous controllers, to do things like change pitches on sequencers, adjust filter sweeps, change inputs, different oscillators and so on.
Or just twist 16 knobs. I mean, like,
you get to twist 16 knobs, which is a lot of fun, and I have some cool ways to visualize it that we'll look at on the show tomorrow.
Just when you think you've twisted them all, there's yet another one.
You're just like, when do I run out of knobs, right?
Never.
I'm gonna see what happens to our audio if I try to play something. It could be a disaster, but let's see. It could be echo, but here's a little, what do I have? Like a 4-note sequence, and then the rest of my knobs are controlling other aspects of the synthesizer. And I'll show you this tomorrow on the show. All right, so maybe you'll hear that. So that gives you a little idea, I hope, if you could hear that, of some of the fun you can have with your own super compact custom MIDI controller.
All right, knobs away.
All right, next up, Bill.
All right, Bill.
All right, Bill, take it away.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hello.
I know I'm as geeky as I ever get. Sorry about that, but I got all kinds of cool stuff to show you. I need to start with some thank yous, hug reports as you guys call them. So first, I posted on Twitter, and it'll get to one of the first things I'm going to show. But thank you for keeping up your libraries. We had a donation of an absolute ton, 12 buckets of 84 LEDs that were all WS2801s, and your libraries still work. So we were able to use all of those, which is awesome. I want to start with, let me see if I can share this. I know. So we have a lot going on this month. The biggest thing is at the end of the month, we have Maker Day 2.0. So that's in Orlando. By the way, I assume you guys can see this, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. So at ATIA this year, at the end of January, actually February 2nd, is when we kind of take over an assistive technology conference. We have all our high school kiddos come in. They show all the things that they've done. They teach the OTs and PT, occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech paths, how to solder. They teach them how to use Instamorph and Coroplast and all that kind of good stuff. So if you're in the area, we'd love to have you, actually. And I think I've extended invitations to everybody at Adafruit, especially like Noe and Pedro aren't that far. Maybe we get to see them. One of the things we're doing here is a magic wheelchair reveal. If you've never seen magic wheelchair and you're into making, this is a fantastic way. If you're like, you want to do AT, but you really want to help people with special needs, this is a great organization. They basically turn a wheelchair into something awesome for the kid. And it makes them the coolest kid in the room. It is amazing the things that they've done. They made TIE Fighters and they made Hulk, and they do big reveals and stuff. And we're doing one with them at ATIA Maker Day. I can't tell you what it is. I will tell you it's going to be absolutely loaded with Adafruit parts. So we will be doing that one. So let me turn this off, kind of show you what I'm actually doing. I'm going to switch cameras. That's among other things. I have a brand new laptop, a 2-day-old laptop, which is always fun. That is backwards. Hold on. There we go. All right. I think that's right. Nope. I had it right the first time. All right. So this is the first thing I wanted to show you. This is one of the 12 bundles of old WS2801 devices we got. As you can see, I was able to actually, Lady Ada, Lamore, you were the one who actually told me that I could just grab your library and it would just work. That's not, that flicker is my fault, not yours. That's ground. There you go. Ground problem. There you go. So but these are great. I'm also 3D printing these little tabs that fit perfectly on the devices and then let you use a command strip to actually hold them where you want on the build. So that'll work real well. Kind of sad. I spent forever figuring out how many millimeters this was and changing until I realized they're old and that's a ½ inch. So I'm very kind of wish I hadn't wasted all that time. The last thing we're gonna show is
how much time you saved by not having to write a library. So
yeah, yes, I would not have succeeded on that one. Absolutely not. So these will all go directly onto the Magic Wheelchair project, and I'll make sure you guys get good pictures of that. So the next thing I want to show you is actually something we're doing with Microsoft. So Microsoft came out. I know you saw John Park's example. I think probably the best way to show is like this. this. I can rewire that if I have to. I will probably have to. So you guys all saw this the other day, and he was actually showing how to use all these jacks on the back to control all the buttons. And I think it's awesome that he did it. He did a fantastic job, especially on the analog stuff. But they also have little ports on the side, if you look, and they actually take in USB plugs here and here. And what they are supposed to do, and what they almost do, is they're supposed to take in a gamepad, you know, like a gamepad. This looks like a gamepad, right? Mm-hmm. So they sell the joysticks that go into the side so you can use two hands to control it. But this actually has a built-in HID in CircuitPython, and it should just work. Turns out they don't like composite devices, so I had to do a whole lot of hacking to make this thing work. But it opens up a lot of possibilities because all these are capacitive touch. You've got your IMU sensor. You've got the two big sensors. I mean, everybody knows what a Circuit Playground's got. But when you apply this to gaming and you can now use it in an Xbox setup, this is huge. This is going to make a huge difference. We're going to be in the Microsoft booth with this at ATIA showing that. And then I thought, well, if I can do that.
MakeCode has HID. We added HID support. It might just work.
So it doesn't. I've talked to the guys from MakeCode about it. It doesn't work because literally it has to be a gamepad with exactly the right number of buttons.
Okay.
It's a firmware update that Microsoft's eventually going to have to do.
Yeah.
But I did go ahead and completely geek out, and I took an itsy bitsy M4 and a B&O 055 absolute orientation sensor, and I made a controller that we can wear. So with any luck, it is working. So it's just a matter of seeing whether or not I can get this on camera. Let's see if I can show you this working. It's awesome. So I've got it set up to control the view, and this is. It looks like I'm using a selfie stick. It is not a selfie stick, but it looks like it. So if you watch up here, hold on. That's a little better. All right. So if you watch up here, as I turn my head, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking right.
Wow.
Looking left. So if I stay still, it'll center. Now I can look left.
It's like in Minecraft or something.
I can look down. And this is a one-day build. I did this afternoon when I realized it would work.
That's cool.
And it works great. So this is something we're definitely going to be showing in at the ATIA, at the Microsoft booth, and in the Maker Day. And it just works. And how cool is that when it just works, right?
It's cool.
So.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Bill. And
nice.
Keep sending links and photos and more.
I will, and I'm going to work with. I think I'm going to work with John Park about doing a second Xbox controller. Another guide to add this part in. We can't quite do it yet because CircuitPython doesn't let you turn off the other profiles yet dynamically. Yeah. So you have to do a custom build. I think we should wait for that, or maybe they'll fix their firmware. But one way or the other.
Also try Arduino. I mean, it's not a lot of code, and you can always pass around the UF too. So it's at least it'll get you started.
Yep, I think that's. I'll have something working for the end of the month, absolutely, which is great. But if we're going to do a guide and a video, I think we should probably wait till it's a little more baked, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, I've been working on. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been working on the CircuitPython library for the RA8875, and I kind of wanted to show you where I'm at with that.
I'd love to see it.
Okay, let me switch cameras here.
Show me the pixels.
Okay, so I'm going to plug that in.
Ooh.
So I got a little. Basically, it's almost the
Ooh.
same demo as the one that would run on the Arduino, and I even got
working.
So I got all the drawing is hardware accelerated shapes on there, and I still need to do like bitmaps and doing text and stuff like that, but that's about 2 days worth of work there.
That's nice. Good work. I like your Adafruit brand breadboard.
Well, there's some Adafruit brand stuff there.
I'm making a weird check joke, but that looks great. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you're in the Discord channel, so people have been able to kind of watch the progress live as you've been doing this as well, right?
Yep.
How are you liking CircuitPython code development? I know you've done a lot more C development, right? And this is your first CircuitPython
I have.
code?
I've done some regular Python, then I've done a couple of CircuitPython projects, just little demo type projects. But this is the first time I've dove into the libraries, and between learning how to set up the library and getting the display initialized, those were probably the two hardest things.
Yeah. All right. Well, you've done great. I mean, now that you've got the SPI talking, it should be not too hard to add, all the capabilities of that chip.
Yeah,
nice.
I actually had started off with the SPI going too fast, and so it wasn't initializing at first. And once I slowed it down, it was good.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Well, good work. If you want any stickers, you know where to email me.
And we'll get that into the library bundle real soon.
Yep.
As soon as you feel like it's ready, we'll put it in and get PyPI working, and then people can try it out. It's amazing. You can drive a 5-inch display with a couple SPI commands and draw text and images and stuff.
Yeah, you can actually do it. I believe there's a 7-inch display as well.
Yeah. High res. It does all the memory stuff for you.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much, Melissa.
Thanks, everybody.
And we have one, speaking of displays, this is something that Lady and I are working on. These are some CircuitPython powered IoT displays. This one is going to github.com/Adafruit/CircuitPython. If you star us, that'll update real time. And the other one is a Hackaday.io project. If you go to the Hackaday.io site and look for CircuitPython, I think this is it's one of the first projects on there. When you search for CircuitPython, it'll go up in number of skulls if you like it.
You like it, and we get more skulls, because Hackaday likes are called skulls.
So either one of those things. So this is like a neat glimpse of some of the stuff we're working on that has displays and Python and images and graphics, and it's also portable. So this could even be something like an IoT conference badge that's your repo stars or your skulls or your LinkedIn stuff or whatever it is, and you make that in Python. That's our project. We'll probably show that on Ask an Engineer too.
Sweet.
Okay. Well, let's show and tell everybody.
Whew. All right. Well, thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Noe
Thanks,
Pedro.
Noe Pedro. Thank you,
Thank you, Mike.
JP.
Thank you, Mike Scooter. Thank you,
Mike,
Melissa.
Alyssa,
Thank you,
and
JP.
Bill.
Thank you, Bill. JP, do you want to play us out? Thank you, everybody. 7:30. And
Train sounds.
and Ask an Engineer at 8 p.m. tonight.
Music to my ears.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Circles, squares, trains, boxes. It's the best party there is online.
That's right.
All right, bye, everybody. See you in a couple minutes.